Have you ever thought about problems a disabled person faces? Challenges most often fall into two categories. These can deter individuals from traveling at all or, in some cases, force them to pay more for their travel arrangements to secure accommodations that make their trips possible or more comfortable. Today we will discuss about 7 challenges disabled person faces while traveling. 1. Airport terminals are complex. The complexity of airport layouts and the sheer distances they can cover may make it difficult for individuals with physical disabilities. If a mobility or vision impairment makes navigating the terminal an obstacle for you, contact your airline as soon as you book your ticket and request extra assistance using your phone's camera. An ARA agent visually interprets your surroundings, including reading, describing surroundings, and navigating. 2. Gate changes and flight announcements may be missed. This is particularly true for those with vision or hearing impairments. Think about the information missed if you can't see a departure board or hear an announcement regarding a gate change, where to claim luggage, or safety notices. To combat this, request assistance from the airline and the gate agents and ask them to notify you of changes. You can also get notifications sent to your phone from most airlines informing you of a change in gate or flight details. 3. Transportation hubs can be overwhelming for those with sensory issues. For travelers with sensory challenges, airport terminals and bus or train stations can be extremely loud and busy, causing extreme stress or prohibiting them from traveling. Traveling in the early mornings, late at night, or midweek, when there are less crowds, can help remove some of the anxiety. Also research the availability of sensory rooms in the terminal. More airlines are creating sensory rooms and quiet spaces to help those on the autism spectrum or with sensory disorders. It can also be helpful to practice processes like go in through security or boarding a plane. This allows anxious flyers, whether they're first-time flyers or a traveler with a disability, to become more familiar with the experience and reduce stress arising from uncertainty. 4. Security checkpoints can also be trigger points. Wheelchairs often set off metal detectors, as do guide dog harnesses, resulting in pat-downs and delays. Individuals with autism often find this process especially difficult due to unfamiliar noises, potentially needing to be touched by security officers, and staff not understanding the needs of the individual. To ease your stress at security, request assistance from the airline or customer service. Make this request as soon as possible, ideally no later than 2 weeks prior to departure. 5. Staff is inconsistently trained to provide accommodations to travelers with disabilities. Whether we're talking hotels, airports, restaurants, or anywhere in between, staff members may simply be unaware of the accommodations they can and should provide for travelers with disabilities. This may be especially common when the traveler has a cognitive disability or autism where behaviors are not immediately or visually recognized as the result of an impairment. If your disability or impairment affects communication, try using apps to ease those difficulties. The Genie app connects you to a Live ASL or other language interpreter via your smartphone. This can not only help with hotel processes like check-in, but other travel situations such as ticket counters, restaurants, and public transportation where employees may not know sign language. 6. Accessible public amenities may be lacking. Even when a hotel or resort lists itself as accessible, it may only be referring to certain parts of its property: pools, restaurants and bars, conference rooms, and maybe even public restrooms may not be designed with special needs in mind. Some resorts and cruise ships have pools on multiple levels. If this is the case, confirm that there is an elevator to the pool deck itself. Recognize that parts of the outdoor pool area may not require the use of stairs, but actually getting to the water might require an elevator. Determine what amenities are important to you and ask the hotel or rental host if those amenities have the accessibility accommodations you need. For example, If you'd like to swim and use a wheelchair, confirm that there are pool lifts. We need to provide proper accommodation, space, and privacy to all the disabled persons.